Breaking news! Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce have taken their relationship to new heights. Travis has popped the question and the power couple is engaged. They made the announcement on Instagram with the caption, "Your English teacher and gym teacher are getting married." Now, back to your regular scheduled programming.
This is Sportscentre.
Hey, everyone, who's ready for their daily Blue Jays update? Game 2 of the series versus the Twins goes down tonight after Toronto's bats exploded with a 10-4 win in the opener. And you can get a piece of this action on FanDuel, where the Jays are currently -1.5 on the run line and -164 to win outright. And the biggest story from yesterday's game, Vlad Guerrero Jr. is back. After missing time with hamstring inflammation, Vladdy wasted no time making his mark, going 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs. And with his return, the Jays are as healthy as they've been since opening day. And it's perfect timing with fall baseball right around the corner. Key contributors like Dalton Varsho, George Springer, Alejandro Kirk, Vladdy, and Andres Jimenez have all returned from injury this month, raising the ceiling of a team that's already rolling. The Jays put up 10 hits in their victory versus the Twins, continuing the trend of excellent contact hitting, as Toronto currently leads the major leagues in team batting average, 10 points higher than the second-place Brewers and Phillies. And at the heart of it is Bo Bichette. He's 5th in the MLB with a .304 average and leads the league in hits with 165. But it's not just Bo, it's a team-wide philosophy. The Jays have 4 players in the top 15 in average in the major leagues. Vladdy is 9th at 297, Kirk sits 11th at 296, and George Springer is 14th at 294. That contact-first approach has put pressure on defenses to make plays and helped catapult the Jays' offense into one of the league's best. However, tonight may be a tough one with Bailey Over on the mound for Minnesota. Last season, Over absolutely dominated Toronto, allowing just 1 run on 2 hits while striking out 18. And that was across 2 starts. But this year, the Jays have had his number. In their last meeting on June 6, Toronto tagged Over for 5 runs on 5 hits, including 2 homers. So the big question tonight is, do the Jays get the 2024 version of Over, or the one they lit up earlier this summer? I just like seeing Toronto happy, so let's keep that rolling. One of the great stories in this baseball season has been the surge of Cal Raleigh, and last night he hit a major milestone.
Fly ball driven, way back there, left field, take cover, number 50, midway up the second deck. History marches on. For the first time ever, a catcher has hit 50 home runs in a season.
That's right, the man they call Big Dumper is the first catcher to ever hit 50 homers. But Raleigh's performance is rare on several fronts. He's just the second switch hitter to ever hit 50 home runs, the first since 1961. And he's in good company. Mickey Mantle is the only other switch hitter to reach that mark. And he's also just the second Mariner to ever hit 50 bombs. And again, he is in elite company. The only other Mariner to eclipse 50 was the man himself, Ken Griffey Jr. Now, Raleigh still has 5 games left this month, but he's also just the 3rd player in American League history to reach 50 home runs before the start of September, joining Roger Maris and Aaron Judge. And you baseball history buffs might remember, Judge and Maris hold the top 2 power-hitting seasons in the history of the AL. Which means it's time to ask the question, could Raleigh break Aaron Judge's American League home run record? Right now, Raleigh's on pace to hit 61 bombs, which would come just 1 home run shy of Judge's record-breaking 2022 season, and would match the 61 home runs Maris hit in 1961, which stood as the American League record in 61 years. This is why I say baseball is magical, and why it is and will always be my favorite sport. We're just 9 days away from kickoff in the 2025 NFL season, and FanDuel is celebrating with their inaugural Futures Day. So with that in mind, let's take a look at the odds in some of our favorite NFL future markets. Of course, we have to begin with the Super Bowl winner, where there is 4 clear frontrunners. The Ravens, Eagles, Bills, and Chiefs are the only teams with shorter than 10-1 odds, with Baltimore currently the favorite at +700. Buffalo was a co-favorite late last week, before their odds ticked up slightly to +750, but they remain the most popular bet to win the Super Bowl on FanDuel, ahead of the Lions, Eagles, and Ravens. Oh my. The biggest surprise here is the Steelers at the 5th most popular pick at +5,500. The Steelers haven't won a playoff game since 2016, but it looks like bettors are hoping for a resurgence from Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers is a 4-time MVP, but the odds makers aren't expecting a 5th this season. Lamar Jackson is the favorite to win the award at +430, followed closely by Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Patrick Mahomes. Those players are the only 4 with shorter than 10-1 odds. However, only 2 of those players make the list of FanDuel's most popular MVP bets. Aside from his 9-8 record, Burrow put up MVP caliber numbers last season, and he is the most popular MVP bet on FanDuel. The big surprise here is Caleb Williams. who's the fourth most popular bet at plus 3,700. Could he put up big numbers under new head coach Ben Johnson? For more NFL talk and NFL Futures Day, be sure to head to TSN's YouTube page for the season premiere of Broken Table, as Stevie Johnson, Aaron Karolnik, Takia, and Christopher Hine give you their best bets for the year, plus a couple long shots. And you know, this girl loves long shots. We Bart Scott can't wait for NFL football here on DSC, which again, reminder, is just 9 days away. So to get us set for the 2025 season, let's bring in our NFL analyst and Broken Table's own Davis Sanchez. Chezzy, with FanDuel celebrating Futures Day, what bets do you have your eye on this coming season?
Excited for NFL kickoff, of course. The bet that I love the most is not something that you naturally want to cheer for, but it is my favorite play, and it's the Washington Commanders under 9.5. For a win total. This is an exciting young football team. So, and with an exciting young quarterback. But the same reason that Jaden Daniels was voted the NFL's most outstanding offensive rookie is the same reason that I'm fading and taking the under 9.5 wins for the Washington Commanders. Jaden Daniels was asked and provided so many plays off script. He played what you call above the call so often to get them first downs, to get them touchdowns. He was outstanding. And when I look at the team, I just don't see enough talent. Also, I like Patrick Mahomes overpassing. That sounds like, a square play, a popular play. I don't know if it is. If you look at the 4,000 yards for Patrick Mahomes and what they've done offensively for the last few years, they haven't been able to get the ball downfield. And he's still put up decent numbers. But for what they expect to do and the weapons they have, they've been underwhelming. The talk's been every season for the last 3 years has been, we're going to go down the field, we're going to be aggressive, but their offensive line hasn't allowed them to do that. I like Patrick Mahomes to go over his 4,000. If he gets any kind of protection, he'll go flying past that number. Obviously, he has to stay healthy. But protection and health, Mahomes flies over 4,000 yards. I like that. Also, as my best bet for futures.
Chezzy, we're so happy to have you back talking some NFL ball, and we can't wait for your much anticipated return to Broken Table on next week's show. To F1 now, we got some big news from the newest team on the circuit. Cadillac has signed Valtteri Bottas and Sergio Perez to drive for them when their team debuts in 2026. And they made the announcement in style.
A man has but one destiny, but destinies are written together. We've been expecting you.
And they got Canadian flair in this with Keanu Reeves. Are you kidding me? John Wick? Please. Both Bottas and Perez lost their seats at the end of last season, and Checo has not been with the team since leaving Red Bull, while Bottas has stayed in the mix as a reserve for Mercedes. But they both now land on their feet with Cadillac, and not many teams can boast this much experience behind the wheel, let alone their first year on the circuit. Both Bottas and Perez combined for 527 Grand Prix starts and 16 wins in their careers. And you know I love Checo. I have not met Bottas yet, but now we can, this year, at the Canadian Grand Prix. Very exciting stuff. That's it for me today. This is Pacific and Raw Thursday. No Pacific! Have a good one.